Hi kids. As you know, we have been reading the play The Miracle of Spring. And just as a reminder, the purpose of a play is to entertain an audience. Okay? The author tells the story of the play through the characters' dialogue and action. Okay? We've read the first part of this play and a lot has taken place. We see King Bartholomew throw a couple of fits, and we've been able to make some inferences about his character based on his actions again and his dialogue, and looking at how he's been talking to people around him, and just working with those characterization skills. Okay, and so I want to have us to take a look at the main thing that's going on in this play. You know, he's having a conflict, right, with everybody because they're not doing what he wants them to do. And we know that he is directing his anger and his jealousy at one particular character in the play. I want you to think about who that is, okay? Now, the author provides, information about who those characters are and why they act the way that they do, right? And so this does help us in the long run to understand why the conflict is actually happening. And then today we're going to finally figure out how it is resolved, okay? So I want to look at paragraphs 4 through 22, okay, which is right here on this page, all right, and that should be on page 132 of your book, okay. I'm going to move over just a little bit where Eager Beaver comes in, okay, and so Eager Beaver comes onto the scene, the judge and the crow, remember, and Mrs. Appletree, okay? And so, as we were reading this, what came to my mind was, the author is using Mr. Beaver's dialogue, right, to tell us what Mrs. Appletree looks like. She's dressed in a drab, brown color, and how that is different from what she usually looks like, right? And normally she's bright green and pretty, and she has this bonnet decked out in blossoms and things like that, right? So the author is using this language to help us to really get a full picture of what Mrs. Appletree looks like now, right, versus before. Okay, and I can also tell as I was going through, kind of looking at what she was saying back and forth, right, how she's feeling, right, and so she misses spring because she won't look pretty and because she can't grow apples. So her appearance, right, in the play gives me more information about this main conflict of this plot, because the king, as we know, has banished spring. And so we talked yesterday about how when he banished spring, that the trees won't grow any food, and then of course the cause and effect piece of that is that now the people in his kingdom, they will perish, right, because they're starving. All right, so what I want us to do, we're going to look at a different section today together to discuss how we can analyze different characters in the play by just looking at their dialogue, right? I was looking at Mrs. Appletree and Mr. Beaver's dialogue to, make, excuse me, some inferences about Mrs. Appletree. And so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to look at some other areas, and we are going to examine the dialogue between the characters to help us figure out some things about the characters. We're also going to look at the stage direction, and we're also going to look at how the characters are reacting to one another, okay? And we are going to be revisiting paragraphs 35 through 39, which is around page 134, 35. And we're going to be looking at what we can tell about Mr. Stringbean today, okay? So I want everyone to go ahead and get their journals out, and let's get ready to read. I was so excited yesterday when you guys were performing the first part of the play. You all did a really good job, so I'm looking forward to today. And so let's go ahead again, get our journals out so that we can start jotting our notes again about what we noticed about these characters based on their dialogue and their reactions to one another, and actually what they're doing, how they're moving and reacting in those stage directions.